How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. So over on Dixie for the daily, we are continuing forward. We do have some bullish momentum here that is positive. We do have a long lower shadow candle. This is positive for Dixie, not too positive for crypto. Remember, usually they are inversely related. So if we do see a continued push tomorrow, we could start to see crypto pull back if they remain uncorrelated or inversely correlated, I mean. So usually in like the bull market, they did run together. Lately, they have been separated. We may see them get more correlated, more corresponding in the future, but that is yet to be seen. Our stochastic is pulling back. RSI is starting to get a lower high, so watch as that stochastic continues to drop. That could bring RSI and price lower. Momentum is in the bullish territory. That VWAP is indecisive, that yellow wave, so watch that VWAP. If it cannot hold above this neutral, above that zero, then our blue wave, our momentum, will continue to round away, and money flow could go from green into the red, showing that we have selling pressure on the daily. That would depend on our lower time frames, if they can hold bullish or not. So over on the 1 hour, we do have a bit of a possible rising channel here, so that could negate any kind of bullish scenario that we have. This rising channel would attempt to break us down, so that is consistent rising highs with higher lows. So I would watch for these to connect. If they do connect, that could confirm our channel, and that would break us down. However, right now they do not connect, so you could try to bet on this being more of a bullish continuation, but it does look like we may start to pull back here, as we are struggling with that green EMA. If we lose that green and blue EMA, that could start a tumble down. Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is pulling back. Momentum is rounding with a red dot, and VWAP is breaking down, bringing money flow lower. So watch that VWAP. If it continues to push down here, momentum will break away. Money flow will continue to push away, and higher time frames will weaken. Again, that would be more positive for crypto if we're going to see that inverse correlation continue. So over on Bitcoin futures for the day, our dominance for the daily, we are in a bit of a rising channel here, so I would exercise caution. Remember, a rising channel could break you down. We will cut those wicks in this case, just to say that could be a bullish manipulation where they tried to push us up and they were unsuccessful. So I would watch. Sometimes you do get manipulation moves, just like that wick down would be. So this would end up trying to bring us down right around that 56% area. I would watch though, because we have touched to the bottom twice. If we do not get that breakdown on that third approach to the bottom, then it's likely we would invalidate our pattern and push the opposite direction, which would mean that Bitcoin would do better than our altcoins. If we see this break away, altcoins will start to outperform Bitcoin. So that's why we gained. Bitcoin gained, altcoins lost, but yesterday it was the inverse. So stochastic is pulling back, momentum is rounding, VWAP does want to break down, and money flow is weakening. If that VWAP continues to push down here and weaken on lower time frames, we could cascade away. So over on total for the daily, we are continuing to reject that golden pocket. We did attempt to pull back into our kind of consolidation range from that bear market, so we'll unlock that so we can kind of pull this over for you, and then we'll relock it. That way it doesn't get messed up. So we are struggling with that consolidation range. If we end up breaking back into this range, watch that double top, because remember that double top could bring us lower. We can measure that out, so it may end up being a slanted one, just like futures will draw that just in case. And then you would measure from the top down to your neckline, apply that down, and that would give you your breakdown zone of 516. But that would be dependent on lower time frames holding bearish, and this daily continuing to break down. VWAP is getting lower highs, so watch for a break in neutral. Money flow is pushing back, and momentum does have a red dot suggesting it wants to break down, so keep an eye on that VWAP. If it breaks down, we will see a reversal here. So over on the 1 hour, we did try to break back toward the top of our channel. It's so small we had to zoom in very far, so we did get a bit of a bounce forward. We are currently retesting, so watch for this to be the bounce forward. If we can make a higher high here with a higher low, then we could continue forward and invalidate our double top possibility. However, if that VWAP does not stay in the bullish territory like it is right now, it does have a higher high with higher lows. That's creating a bullish trend. So if it does not continue this bullish trend, momentum could reverse. That momentum is on its way up, so money flow does have the chance to bounce off neutral. If that VWAP stays bullish, momentum will continue higher. It can break into bullish territory. That would give that money flow the chance to bounce, and that would strengthen higher time frames, and then we could still attempt to break the top of that golden pocket. Again, watch for that to break and hold if we do approach. If we get rejected, I would exercise caution. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did get that rejection. We do have a long lower shadow candle. So remember, a long lower shadow candle does show that the bears tried to break us down, but the bulls are trying to step in. So that does mean we may have some momentum to the upside if that VWAP can reverse on lower time frames. Our VWAP is trying to break bearish on the daily. Momentum is rounding. We do have a red dot, so keep an eye on that. That does suggest that our VWAP and momentum want to break, which will lead money flow into the red and cause further sell-off, as that is showing we have selling pressure more than buying pressure. Our stochastic is dropping, RSI is weakening, so the daily isn't too positive here. Over on the 1 hour, we are trying to hold our EMA band, so that is a positive note. If we can stay above this top side of our EMA band, then we can continue further. However, if we end up losing these, I'd say if we lose that red EMA, then we could see a breakdown. Right now, that red EMA is acting as a pretty strong support resistance right around that 67K, which is also a psychological support resistance area because it is an even number. Remember, even numbers act as a resistance as well. So hopefully that stays as a support, and then we can break that 69. If we can break the 69K and push toward the top of our channel, we do have the chance to invalidate the rising channel and see a push forward still. Our VWAP is holding bullish, momentum is pushing forward, so if that VWAP stays bullish, we do have higher highs with higher lows, and our highs are getting stronger, so that is positive. If these waves continue to stay bullish, momentum will continue higher, money flow will bounce, and higher time frames will continue forward, and then we could attempt that 69K break again. I would still exercise caution around that 70K. Remember, that is another even psychological resistance area, just like 67, 68, 69, 70, any even number. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, we do have that double top. We did attempt to get a breakdown, but we have multiple things going on that 1 hour, so we will cover that. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is starting to drop away, momentum is rounding, that VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is pulling back. So we do look like we're losing some steam here. I would watch lower time frames very closely. Over on our 1 hour, we did have our attempt to reject the top of our neckline, so we did warn to watch for that rejection. We did get it, but we bounced off the 250 EMA. We did say these EMAs have been acting as strong support areas and that you should watch them. So if we continue to push forward here and we stay above our neckline, there is a possibility we pull back. We're right on the top of our channel, so this could be our retest of our channel. Then if followed by a strong green candle, that could try to push us up toward that 68K. We're going to want to hold that 68K and see higher highs with higher lows from there if we're going to push forward. Right now, our VWAP is pulling back with lower highs, but the wave is more bullish, so as long as it can stay above that neutral, momentum can remain in the bullish territory, and money flow could go from red to green, and we could gain bullish momentum. But if that VWAP breaks that neutral and gets lower lows, then momentum will pull back, money flow will remain red, and higher time frames will continue to break down. Again, watch our 250 and 300 EMAs right around that 66.7 and that 66.3 area. So over on graph for the daily, we are overall pulling back. We do have an indecision doji candle. We did get most of our breakdown from that bear flag, so we are going to delete this at this point. But this is a long upper shadow, almost kind of the opposite of a long lower. Remember, long upper shows the bulls are gaining control, or long lower shows bulls are gaining control. Long upper shows that the bears are gaining control and possibly stepping in. So this could try to break that 16.316, despite that move pretty much being all played out. Our stochastic does want to round away. Overall is weakening. Keep an eye on that, as that will lead RSI and price lower. Momentum does want to round with a red dot. VWAP is breaking down and money flow is breaking into the red, so we do have more selling pressure on the higher time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we have a rejection of our 300 EMA and a potential bearish engulfing candle after filling a gap we created when we got this push down. So I would watch very close here. If we see lower highs, we currently have a potential lower high with lower lows from here. We could see a bearish trend that could try to break that support area still. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back. VWAP does have higher highs with higher lows, so that is positive, pushing momentum higher, but I would still keep an eye on it. If that VWAP does break that neutral, we do still have bearish money flow and bearish momentum that could lead us lower. So over on Ankr for the daily, we do have gaps over on that hour, so we'll have to visit that. But over on the day, we did bounce off that point of control. That is positive, but we do want to see confirmation with a strong green candle. If we get a strong green candle, there is a chance we will break toward that 30.79 here. Our stochastic does want to pull back. We do have that orange above blue, so keep an eye on that. RSI is pulling back. Momentum is rounding with the red dot, and VWAP does want to break neutral, so watch that VWAP. That yellow wave, if it continues to break our neutral, our blue wave momentum could continue to sell off, and money flow will go from green to red, giving us further selling pressure. How's it going, yet? I hope you're having a great day. We will cover Ondo right after we get to ALGO, and then that's usually where we'll do our requests, so we can get that on the books for you. We also have Prime that was requested today. So over on the 1 hour on Ankr, we do have lower highs with lower lows. We do have gaps above us. Remember, gaps have a chance, 80% chance to fill, so that is positive. If we do end up selling off, we do have those zones we can push back toward, and that does kind of align with pushing toward that 2883. That VWAP is holding bullish, so that is positive. Momentum is gaining strength, but that money flow wants to pull back. If that VWAP stays bullish, money flow can make a bounce and higher time frames can continue forward. I would watch for a pullback toward the 300 EMA, though we do have a gap below us, and it would be better to fill that gap before continuing forward so we don't get a rejection just like we did when we tried to run up here and we had other lower gaps below us. So over on XRP for the daily, we do have a break of the 54. We have been warning to watch for that as we did reject the 300 EMA again. Our stochastic is overall pulling back. We have orange above blue, so that's giving us a bearish cross, bringing RSI lower, which will bring price lower as well. Momentum wants to break down. VWAP is in a bearish trend with lower highs and lower lows, so if that continues, our yellow wave will lead our momentum blue wave lower, and money flow will deepen into the red, showing further selling pressure. So that's not too good looking, considering we are in a bull flag that wanted to take us to 80 cents. But if we invalidate this, we could end up dropping down. Remember, we still have that 45-cent zone that is a strong support if we lose the 50-cent zone. So over on the 1 hour, we do have a consolidation after a push down. That's a bear flag that could be forming, so I would watch. That could pull us below our pattern. Stochastic doesn't want to push up. RSI is trying to pull back, so watch that very close. VWAP is trying to hold bullish. That VWAP is positive. If it can stay bullish, momentum will continue to push up, money flow will remain green, and we can continue forward. But if that VWAP breaks down and we cannot maintain this bullish trend, the bears will step in and we will see that flag play out. So over on ALGO for the daily, we are seeing a bit of a rejection. We did try to pump forward. We did get rejected by 2 EMAs, and we are starting to push down. This is an indecision candle here as well, so again, watch this channel. Stochastic does want to round away. We do have orange above blue that could continue to drop us down if we're not careful. VWAP is pushing toward neutral. Watch that close. Momentum is pulling back and money flow is in the red, so that does show we have selling pressure. Keep an eye on that. If lower time frames continue selling off, the daily likely could break down. Over on the 1 hour here, we did retest our 300 EMA and we're currently losing it. Keep an eye on this, as that does mean we could see bears step in and retest our support level. We do have a gap above us though, so there is that slight positivity right around that 1276. Stochastic does want to start to bend. If that stochastic gives up bullish strength, RSI will continue to drop and bring price action lower. Our VWAP does have higher highs with higher lows, pushing momentum higher, and that money flow is bearish. So if that VWAP continues bullish, momentum could lead money flow into the green, but I would watch that VWAP very close. If this is just a short momentary wave, we could still see the bears remain in control. So keep an eye as we reject the CMA. We need to get back above it and push forward if we're going to continue seeing bullish momentum here. Otherwise, we need to bounce off that support level. So now we will cover Ondo, and then we will cover Prime. So Ondo, ONDO. Looks like KuCoin's our only option here. KuCoin's decent. I just wouldn't trade on them. They're decent for pricing history. So this coin was made right around July 2024, so I would warn against it being an initial offering. Initial offerings, you do get spikes and then you get drops, and sometimes those drops do not recover. That's one bit of warning I'm just going to throw in there. But overall, we do have some consolidation here. We are trying to make rising bottom with flat tops, so that does create a rising triangle. We'll draw that out. Remember, a rising triangle does actually push you forward, unlike a rising channel. It's a rising pattern that does follow its name true. So you would measure from your support to your neckline or your top, and then you would apply that up. That could give us a break of that 1 to 107.774. But I would keep an eye on things like our VWAP is pushing down, money flow is rejecting, the momentum is rounding with the red dot, our stochastic does have that bearish cross, and RSI is dropping. If that VWAP does not reverse and recover, then we could end up pushing away. Again, keep an eye on the bottom of this channel. When you get near these triangles, we do have one on DAG as well if you're in DAG. When you get near the tips of these triangles, your indicators can flatten out and they become hard to read. And that's typically why you want to trade based on like confirmations and breaks out. So the way you would trade this rising triangle, if you're looking for a continuation and you're not comfortable DCAing in this resistance area, you see we have consolidation really heavy in this zone. That's what makes it a resistance area. If we cannot push forward and you do not want to kind of DCA in, you would watch for a bounce, a continuation to the top, a pullback, and then a bounce off the top. Once you get that bounce off the top, that could be your cue that we may see that full run up. So we will get on the TA on the 1 hour now that we have covered how you would trade that pattern. We are bouncing off our 300 EMA, pushing to the top of our EMA channel. That is very positive. If this continues and we continue with higher highs and higher lows, then we could continue forward from here. Stochastic does want to pull back. Our RSI is starting to round away. VWAP is pushing forward with higher highs and higher lows. Momentum is gaining strength, and that money flow is indecisive. But if that VWAP stays bullish, money flow could make a bounce and continue forward. Yada, did you have another coin you wanted to check? It looks like you did. If you do, let me know. Otherwise, we are going to go to Prime. That was requested in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, click that link and join. So over on Prime, we do have over on the daily some indecision. So we do have a potential descending triangle that could be forming. We have kind of flat bottoms with sloping top that could create a descending channel, descending triangle that could push you lower. So I would keep an eye on that. We'll zoom out very far because it's on the daily, and these do stretch out quite a bit in order to draw them, and they can be hard if you're looking in on like a zoom in view. Now that we've got that, we can zoom in for a little more clarity. Draw from our top to our bottom, get a breakout. I don't always do like peak to peak. That does give you a little short. Remember, you don't want to go for the max move anyway. But this could give us a almost 50% drop right around that 25.68. Stochastic is pulling back. Momentum is pushing down. VWAP is breaking down, and money flow does want to pull back. So I would exercise caution and watch very close. Remember, these indicators will get hard to read if we continue toward the tip of this pattern. Watch lower time frames though. If they can break bullish, we could see that reversal. Over on the 1 hour, this 300 EMA did get rejected and we got a brutal drop. This is a pretty straight channel overall, so this could be a descending channel. Descending channels push you up, so that is positive, and we do have a gap above our 300 EMA. That being said, if we can see that VWAP break bullish, momentum could bounce, money flow could follow, and then we could make a higher low here, followed by a higher high. If we see that higher low with a higher high, we may get some bullish momentum to push us toward that gap and continue to push us forward. If we don't meet the bottom of our channel, our triangle, that is also a possibility where we could try to invalidate it. So watch for a breakout, a retest, and a bounce, just like any other pattern. So if no one else has any comment or any requests, we'll kind of wait a second. If no one has any requests, I just want to say thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, join our Discord if you haven't, watch the Mastering the Trade videos if you haven't. All great information. And on the Discord, you can feel free to reach out to us. So thank you all for watching.